What's going on, everybody? If you've ever been interested in restreaming, streaming on YouTube, and trying to get monetized on YouTube, this video is for you. I had the pleasure of sitting down with an excellent streamer. His name's Shocktor. I've been following him for a long time. We've been friends, and he just got monetized on YouTube. We go over how he did it. So if you are a smaller streamer and you want to get monetized on YouTube, this video is incredibly valuable. If you're a streamer that doesn't restream and you want to restream, this video is incredibly valuable. We go through a lot of stuff. This is a longer episode. Feel free to skip around. But yeah, first off, YouTube, then we talk about restream, then we talk about gear and streaming. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoy it because I had a blast making this video. Let's start, Shocktor, with your monetizational story on YouTube. Like, what was your steps and approach to YouTube to really sink in that monetization? Because as we know right now, you have to have 4,000 hours watched over over a year, and then 1,000 subs, which seems very steep to a new creator. So bring us through that whole journey, please.
All right. So, well, first of all, I got my start learning about the Facebook streaming from you last November of 2021, and that's how we met. I then went on to your streams and everything, and picked up tips from you, and that's where I started with Facebook. But when I started Facebook, I was also multi-streaming to YouTube. My end goal has always been to get to those 4,000 watch hours and the 1,000 subscribers, and I really started in earnest. I technically started in September of 2021, but really started get going in November of 2021. So, and I just hit the 4,000 watch hours on I think it was mid-October of this year. And so what I did, a lot of what I did to get the 1,000 subscribers, first of all, YouTube Shorts, by far the number one way right now of getting those watch hours, or not those watch hours, the number one way of getting those subscribers. That was really helpful. I highly recommend. What you want to do is you want to try doing one a day based on what time your subscribers are on, or just before what time, because YouTube tells you, like, okay, here's when your subscribers are on. What you want to do is have a short ready just before that so that it hits the shorts feed, and you can get, if it hits the feed, you can get upwards to maybe 10 to 20 subscribers per short.
Okay.
So I started doing that, and that got me, I was getting 10, every few days, because at first when I did this, it wasn't working. Every day was not working. It was every like 2 or 3 days. So one thing is to definitely be patient when you're putting the shorts up, because some won't hit. Some you'll get like 20, 30 views, but then others you'll be in the thousands. I had one hit multiple, tens of thousands, but only one. The rest of them were all around that 3,000 to 5,000 mark. So, but yeah, that's one way to steadily get those subscriber numbers. The view hours came from mainly my streams, but I do recommend, what really started getting it going were my long form content. For me, with Minecraft, I was doing build videos. I would see like what trend was currently big in Minecraft, and that actually worked a little bit to get like, video that would get some sort of traction. And that could get me, 10 to, I have one that actually I put in June that's gotten me over 100 view hours just from that. But really my streams, once you start getting like an average of maybe 5 people in, and you're doing 2 to 3 hour streams, let's say a 3-hour stream with an average of 5, you're getting 15 hours of view hours right there. So over the course of a year, that just built up and built up. You are likely not going to get it like, right away. It's very hard unless somehow you pop off, you hit like a major trend. You hit a major trend, and then you get like tons of views, which I've seen has happened. So that is the best way to get the watch hours. And I got it because I restream everywhere, and I started telling people who are watching me on Twitch or watching me on Facebook, I'd be like, hey, we're having a pizza party over here on YouTube. Come over. We'll give you pizza. We'll give you beer. We'll give you tacos, bacon, ice cream, everything. And I mean, I don't actually give you all that, but it's that is it got people from those areas. So I used, and I mean, I know you want to talk about the restream stuff a little later, but I
Right.
used the restreaming to
Sure.
kind of funnel people to the main platform that I really wanted, and that was the YouTube place.
So
YouTube,
with
yeah.
YouTube Shorts, personally, I only tested the waters with it. I haven't gotten right into. Do you find that like when you spend a lot of time maybe bringing like a short that brings value to a Minecraft player, those are the ones that tend to go a little bit further? It's not so much like, hey, look at me do something silly. It's more about showing somebody technical advances in the game or anything like that, or is it all over the place?
It is the ones that do best are the ones where I did something stupid or where
Oh,
I
really?
died. Yeah. But the long form content, the ones that bring value, that will it'll bring in a smattering of subscribers and the view hours. But for shorts, something short, quick, funny tends to be what most people are out for. So gameplay of just like, mistakes, or you reacting in a way that's just like, you can't believe that happened, stuff like that, has really, really worked well, with my shorts.
Okay, that would be the complete
Um,
opposite of what I'd predict would be the
right.
thing because I see so many shorts and reels and TikToks of that kind of stuff, and it's like I feel like,
Right.
and
Well,
if it's oh, go ahead.
just gonna say there is value in what you said. Your idea will work too. It's just that I'm not much of an expert, so me doing stupid stuff, that's
Sure, sure. Well, we got to play. You
that's
got to
like
play to
my
your
way.
strengths for sure.
Right.
But I guess like
So,
I see a lot of that kind of content with it's and even Minecraft. I mean, I think we both know like see through another good Minecraft streamer and
yep.
um all even Mr. Beast, if you really want to get big leagues, like another Minecraft player and lots of videos on Minecraft. My son loves watching Minecraft. Minecraft is everywhere right
Right.
now. It's
Yeah.
very hot on
It
YouTube
is.
actually. I think probably less so for Facebook right now even because a lot of the
Yeah.
Minecraft streamers kind of jump ship. But
Yes.
yeah, with that approach, I guess that's good to know that that's working because if you bring in comic relief to somebody and they can just kind of scroll through and you got enough videos to lock somebody in. I don't understand the mentality, I guess, through short form content so much because my only main
Right.
experience was with like TikTok. You make a video, randomly one will pop off, get a couple thousand views, and then I've never
Right.
even I don't think I've ever once seen a TikToker roll into my live stream and be like, "Hey, I checked out your TikTok." Like that's never
Right.
happened. But at least with
Yeah. Same
YouTube,
here.
it's like all in one house. It's kind of like Facebook
Right.
Reels. Like I kind of use Facebook Reels and the same way you're talking about using YouTube Shorts. Like I'll make a reel, and sometimes I'll make a reel go live or not go live, but I'll post it about an hour before I go live on my stream. And it kind of seems they kind of ebb and flow together. If that one's hot, it shows people that I'm live, and then it kind of goes that way too. And that might be
Right.
an interesting way for the YouTube Shorts down the road to use them as an amplifier for your lives. I have no idea if that I should not even be suggesting that because I don't know. I just the way my brain works go to
Oh
that.
no, it absolutely works. I've gained some loyal viewers from my shorts. I've not gained a single person from my TikToks. No one, like you said, no one has said. And I actually do put up the same shorts on YouTube and on TikTok. And what's
Okay.
interesting is I've had ones pop off. I've had one hit over 100,000 views on TikTok, and a totally separate one hit over 100,000 views on YouTube. And there's no sense to what gets hit between the two. But I have gained a couple loyal viewers from Shorts, but nothing from TikTok.
Okay. Well, reeling back to the monetizational parts of YouTube, did you get it set up yet? Or are you currently in the process of getting it all set through?
I check marked that pretty quickly,
Okay.
just to turn on the super chats and the thanks and that
So
stuff. Memberships, I'm still rolling out. That one is that takes a little bit of time because I've got it set up with 3 tiers. You can set up multiple tiers with you can actually set your
that's
price too,
amazing.
which is
That's absolutely
really
so
cool.
exciting that you can do that on YouTube because no,
Yeah,
you can have different tiers on Twitch. But we all know Twitch takes like 50 some percent plus your
right.
fees and
Yeah,
everything else. It's awful. But with the YouTube, I was really excited to hear that you can put it at whatever you want, $1, $2, $3 tiers, and that's it.
Right.
You know, or
Yep. Yeah, I'm doing. Yeah, I've got a Patreon, so I'm kind of playing it off of my Patreon. So I'm actually doing a 3, 5, and then 25. No one's going to get the third tier 3, but at the tier 3, that's a standard Twitch price. But really, it's 3 for the lowest, then 5 for the middle, and it's what I do on Patreon. Patreon, though, the highest there is 12, so that way I've got that middle one in case people want to do Patreon instead.
Patreon is an amazing tool if you're a smaller streamer and you haven't gotten monetized yet on anything and you want to test the waters, because you can, especially even through Twitch, a lot of the bigger streamers on Twitch and stuff even recommend this, like Alpha Gaming, and I think Stream Scheme has talked about this. I don't know if you ever watched those guys. I'm assuming you have.
Yes, of
But
course, yes. Yeah, Senpai Gaming now.
yeah, that's another one. Well, no, there's a senpai for Facebook as well. I kind of,
Okay.
I vaguely
Alright.
know him. People have recommended me to him, but
Cool. Okay.
yeah, using Patreon and then setting that whole your parameters there, they take less of a percentage. It's like I can't remember, 20 or 12, 8,
Worked out at 15%
15.
is what yeah.
Okay, so
Seemed to be
15% versus 30%. That's already cut in half, so you're making half your money back anyway.
Right.
And then
right.
you have so much more control on Patreon as well for your so
Right.
I'm glad you brought that up. I used Patreon before I got subscribers on Facebook and
Mm-hmm.
managed to make enough income to reinvest into the stream for a few months, and then we managed, it's a whole thing. So definitely Patreon's excellent.
It is.
So
It is,
this
absolutely.
YouTube monetization, you got super chats. There's a few other ones, right? There's super chats and there's something else, right? I can't remember.
There's super stickers. So that's if they don't want to say anything and they just want to throw a sticker with an amount, you can
Okay.
do that too.
Okay.
So, and I think thanks is another one, but I don't have much experience with that. Again, I just set this stuff up.
Well,
So
it sounds like, especially with On the Horizon and then possibly expanding this and opening the door up for smaller streamers and starting streamers to get super chats and all that kind of stuff, very similar to bits, stars, and all that other kind of stuff. It seems like YouTube wants to get serious in the game a little bit on here. With their parameters, I mean, or just to get monetized seems so steep. I think that was a big thing holding them back. But I don't think it's, especially after talking to you, like, yes, there's a lot of hard work and you got to be patient with it, but it's certainly not impossible. And
it's a lot of patience,
yeah,
and a lot of just consistency, I want to say. I've been going live 5 days a week since, so I said like the end of November last year was when I really started getting into it, but it was really when I started doing the Minecraft content, which was beginning of December. That's when I started sticking to that 5 days a week, like clockwork at night, just doing that every single night, streaming to 1 or 2 people at first. And then, once you have one person, then there could be other people like this person who want to watch you. And then just slowly builds from there. And so that is how I built up that audience, at least. Okay, now I've gotten lost. What was I going to say?
we're just talking about the amount of time and energy spent,
right.
So
yes,
unless
I started going off the rails.
in less than a year, you managed to get the goal done and worked your way towards it. And I think that's something to be said a lot with YouTube. I managed to get the 1,000 subscribers, which is exciting. But that was a grind of almost 2 years. And
right.
Facebook gaming is not a hot topic anymore. Like, people aren't really looking for too much on it. So I'm really curious about streaming in general. I'm trying to branch this channel so I can benefit. I want to show people as much as I can as I'm learning things. That's been the premise of this whole channel anyway. So Facebook is like here. Now I'm thinking about YouTube. So I mean,
right.
This is as much for me as it is for the people watching, I guess.
Right. And I will say Facebook is still relevant. People should still be considering it because it does get an audience that you might otherwise not be able to find. I will say a lot of my viewers on YouTube came from Facebook. In fact, I would say more than 50% of my most loyal viewers night to night came from Facebook. There is value. That is where I grew first. When I started streaming to all three places, YouTube was by far the worst. Like, I was getting 0 viewers night after night after night, whereas I was getting maybe, 5 to 10 people rotating in and out as early as January, the month 3 or 2 of me doing this. And for anyone, that's the way it's going to work. You're going to grow in one of the 3 places, which is why restreaming is so valuable.
That's a good segue, because now it's time to deep dive into. Now, I know at one point you were restreaming to Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Trovo. Was there anything else? Is there another one?
No, just those 4. And
Do you still do
Trovo?
Are you still on Trovo?
No, I
Okay.
dropped that because that one was weird. It was kind of big at first. They have some good, helpful things for new streamers, but in general, it was not. It didn't really work out. And I'll say one of the bugs with Restream that can happen is the chat not appearing in your main chat window. Because what Restream does is it takes the 3 places you're streaming and combines it into one chat. So you only have a single chat to look at. You don't have to worry about it. And more often than not, Trovo would fail at that. I would not get that chat in my main chat. So, and also that was just, there weren't many people coming in that way. But I will say I have one loyal viewer who came from Trovo who still watches me today, but they watch me on the other platforms.
That's amazing.
So,
yeah, I had Trovo for a little bit. I was watching some streamers on there, but it seemed like it was a desolate place. It just didn't seem like it had a real strong community behind it. There was viewers there, but I think it was mostly streamers that got fed up elsewhere and kind of hopped off and went to that. But I do want to.
A lot of Mixer people went there.
So with the chat combining and everything, so my biggest setback on even trying Restream, the one thing that always threw me off was, from a viewer's experience, I always felt like, and I feel like my opinion on this is changing, but this was an older opinion of mine. I felt like the viewer's experience would be thrown off by watching a streamer reacting to chat that wasn't in front of their eyes.
Right.
Nowadays, I like your approach because you'll have all the chat right there, so people can follow along with the chat right there, and then you probably have people talking cross-platform sometimes.
I do,
and that's amazing. That is a game changer, at least for my opinion on it, how I used to feel about it versus now. But how do you coordinate that chat, and then you have channel points on Twitch, you got the different bots and everything? How do you rein in all the other stuff that goes into a certain platform? Because when I stream on Twitch, I have a different bot, I got stream points, I got all this other kind of stuff. And when I go to Facebook's, I got my alerts for stars and this stuff over here, and it's completely separate. Like, I wouldn't even know how to combine the two. So if you could maybe, what's your process, at least, for getting everything to seem like a one control ship, running everything all at once?
Right. So I passed up on the affiliate ship on Twitch. So I'm not affiliate. I do not get the channel points or anything there. I pretty much use Twitch for ushering people to the other places. Because if you're going to stream, you should at least stream to the place that has the most refined experience for people, which is Twitch. YouTube's catching up, but yeah, Twitch has like a very refined experience, but so I did use Knoxbot on Facebook for doing channel points and stuff like that. But that had a monthly fee, and with my focus more going towards the other places, I kind of stopped using that. So I do have, I've got 3 bots that I run just to make sure everything is kind of ship shape. I've got a streamer bot, night bot, and then Streamlabs, just that, as well as my Lumia stream to control my lights behind me here. People can do that with.
We're gonna get into your gear. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. but yeah, that is the one thing, keeping track of that. So I actually had to throw away. I did capture everybody's points for, because for being there, there's the loyalty and being on the stream. That was only through Facebook. I don't have anything right now set up for anywhere anymore because I stopped paying for Knoxbot. Um, but to keep track of the chat, and one major thing I did was in my overlay, I actually made the chat a little bit larger because I know people watch on different devices, and I wanted it to make sure that people could still read it.
Right.
So I did make it a little extra big, and I squished my gameplay, because some stuff I've seen from people like Stream Scheme and Alpha Gaming, who's now Senpai Gaming, they they recommend, or they've said that the game is the ambiance of the streamer. Like, a lot of people are there to see the streamer, so I kind of make the gameplay a tiny bit smaller so the chat can be a little bigger to accommodate people to be able to see and chat across the platforms, which shockingly people do.
I think that's
So,
the biggest thing to take home if you are restreaming right now, or if you're thinking about restreaming, to pay attention to that, because that was a big holdup on my end. Like, I would go into a stream and there'd somebody be restreaming, I'd be listening to them talking to chat. I don't see any chat in front of me. And sometimes it's
right.
really like, it really throws you off, because there'll be a bigger streamer like streaming on Twitch or something. They'll be talking to people nonstop, and you're just like, there's two people here. Who are you talking to?
Right.
And then they don't see
Yeah.
you and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that
Yeah.
having a one chat feed is huge. What is the cost of? Is there a basic restream, or do they put like a watermark on it and all that kind of stuff? Because I've used
Yeah.
Restream.io, and I don't know if that's the same thing.
That is the same thing, and that is, so if you do the free one, yeah, it puts the watermark, and hold on, let me just,
And I think that
okay, I've got it up on my screen. So the restream stuff, yeah, they put the watermark for the free one, but if you pay, and also you can't do Facebook on the free one either.
right.
You have to have the $15 a month. They usually have a Black Friday special, by the way.
Oh, that's
So
right around the corner,
um,
everybody.
yeah, right around the corner, 1 month from now. So here we go, timely. So yeah, they usually have a Black Friday. That is how I got my price locked in a year ago,
Okay.
was through the Black Friday. That's how I know when I started doing the restreaming, because that's when I bought it, for Black Friday. So
I didn't plan that, by the
that
way. That was just a
right,
lucky
yeah,
accident here.
yep. So
That's
yeah, and
perfect.
that's, yep, and that's 15 a month,
Okay.
for the lowest package that allows you to go to Facebook. And really, you don't need anything more. The other ones sound better because they're like, 1080p in studio, but you'll never use studio. You will always use OBS. You do not need to use the Restream Studio. You can if you prefer that, but
I don't think that's
I prefer
necessary
using
for.
OBS.
I feel like that's not for a game stream. I feel I've seen
Right.
those
Yeah.
their overlays and everything for that. That seems like something like I don't know what kind of other, like, cooking or like guests or even like
Right.
podcasts
Yeah.
and
If you
stuff
have
like that.
guests, podcasts,
Right.
things like that, that's where paying for maybe the upper one for the 1080p studio would be good. But you really only need that base 15, because then it sends it to, you still get 1080p on the base one, sending to all three major places.
Have you noticed
So
any negative effects of using Restream through Facebook? Has there been any kind of like dampening of reach, or have you noticed anything that might have been tied to that? Because a lot of people randomly say that sometimes, but I've never seen any proof of that. And if that's just people being upset, or if that's a real thing, like Facebook doesn't like Restreamers, I have no idea.
I will say, I mean, it's hard to tell. I mean, maybe they've dampened me the entire time, but I've grown. Um, I I've not really seen anything dampening. It seems to be pretty consistent if you look at my stats from the beginning, as far as just how many people it sends out to. Also, depending on if I use Facebook ads, which I did early on in my early days of Facebook. Um, but I will say Restream has worked the most consistently with Facebook of the three.
Okay.
Um, it's very interesting because chat will sometimes drop off. Some, like what I mentioned with Trovo earlier, the Trovo chat would not show up sometimes. It happens with YouTube. Like, sometimes the YouTube chat won't be showing up, and I won't know it until one of the YouTube people switch over to Twitch and they chat on Twitch and saying, "Hey, we're talking to you on YouTube right now."
Okay.
So I actually have on my screen permanently now YouTube chat right here, because then I can see it out of the corner of my eye scrolling. And if I see it scrolling and it's not going with the chat that's right here, then I know, okay, it's lost track. Now that's only happened maybe in a year. It's only happened 5 times, I want to say. So
Also, but
don't use that as a major negative, but
that's a good tip. It's a good tip to know.
right, it does happen, and it's only happened one time with Twitch, where Twitch lost the chat connection.
Okay.
And pretty much you only in that situation you have to wait it out. And the chat does not appear. I have it above my head. That's, I always point above my head and say, you can see everyone chatting above my head. It won't appear there either. So that's the only time it messes up. That's really the only major bug I've run into. Other than that, and consistently, it's Facebook. It's never had a connection problem like that before.
It's so frustrating. I've lost Facebook chat plenty of
Right, yeah.
times.
Well, Facebook does it on its own.
Yeah.
Facebook loses chat completely on its own. That's another reason a lot of people have moved over to YouTube was chatting. Facebook penalizes you sometimes if you chat too much.
Oh,
It thinks you're chatting too much.
speaking of that, I could almost bet you $20 if I open my phone right now, I would have to dispute going against community standards because my
Yeah.
bot was sharing links, like it does, like, hey, check out the
Mhm.
Discord, check out the thing. Every time
Yes.
I've been opening up my phone for the last week and a half, it's just I got to dispute this bunk
Yes.
claim about going against community standards, and I'm wondering
Yeah.
if that's gonna have any negative effect on me. I just disputed like at least 15 of them over the last like 24 hours. But
Yeah, that could. I don't know. My Knox bot, that's the other thing, is driving me crazy. It would get banned every week. So
it's such a it's so frustrating because it's like they want us to share their Facebook stars link and all that kind of stuff on other platforms.
Right.
If you can't play nice with everything, then don't have fucking streamers. And I'm sorry for the. I know you're more family oriented, or
Oh,
what?
yeah.
Are you a PG 13?
I'm PG, but in real life, I swear so much.
I don't know if you're going to send anybody to see this or not. I didn't want to throw them off with a big F bomb, but I do swear on here occasionally.
All good.
I'm a real person.
They all swear. I'm the only one that doesn't, I think, at this point.
Okay, so getting all that stuff together, do you feel like the price, even if you weren't on the Black Friday sale or whatever for Restream, do you recommend it? Do you feel like it's 100% worth it? What the value is, what it can bring, and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, even at the full price of even at the full price of $19 a month, I would say it is worth it. It really depends though, because I know a lot of, that can be pricey because you're spending $19 and you're getting nothing back, especially when you first start. I'm still, because it's only been a year, I'm still operating in a hole pretty much with what I've spent versus what's come in. But that's also because I run Minecraft servers that have a cost and stuff. So
Sure.
actually, maybe you can cut that out. You don't need to say that we're operating in a hole.
No, I can if you want me to, but like honestly, I think most people, because you talked about investing in advertising into your stream and everything else. I that's exactly how I started mine. I did a lot of promotion, and honestly, I did it too early. That's the one thing I talk about repeatedly, is I invested in ads and stuff when my content was shit, so it went nowhere.
Right.
And then once I had
Right.
better content, then I started getting actual people through there. And a lot of people want to judge that, and they want to say that it's cheating. You are running an advertisement. You are not.
You're running an ad for
You're
your
not.
business.
You're not. We're not talking about buying bots. We're not talking about buying fake viewers. We're talking
Right.
about more people are going to see the video or the picture or whatever it is, and
Yes.
because they see that and they like it, they have a better chance of coming over to the stream. And I've seen tons of people come in from that. It's extremely beneficial to reinvest.
Right.
So I was there. Like my first year was definitely red.
Yeah. That is true. That's a very good point. Yeah. With my ads, same deal. I might have done it too soon, but it worked. My targeting did a pretty good job. Got me a fair amount of followers from from doing the ads. I would say of the followers I got from ads, I would say maybe 10 still drop by every once in a while out of the many, many, many followers. I think people just blindly click follow and move on. But it makes your numbers look good. I mean, at the very least,
I say that
and
I
gives
say
you a
that
little
all
more
the
clout.
time. I say that all the time. Always remember that your views and your follower number mean jack shit. Like, it doesn't
Right.
matter. I've seen streamers with 200 followers streaming to 200 people, and I've seen streamers with
Yep.
250,000 followers streaming to 10 people. So you
Right.
can't tell me that that metric, and that's across every platform. That's not just
Right.
Facebook. Like, I see it on Twitch, I see it everywhere. I think Twitch has a little more of a real closer count to it than Facebook. Facebook's definitely fluffed up. I don't know what the
Right.
YouTube
Right.
one is. I have no idea. My subscribers that view the content versus my non-subscribers, I think is like somewhere on like 60% of my subscribers actually watch my content on YouTube, which is the polar opposite of the bigger channels on here. So
That's awesome.
I don't know
Yeah,
what
that's
that I don't
actually
know what that
really, really good.
means, but I'm just keep
I
rolling
mean,
with it.
you have some loyal subscribers.
Now, hopefully it stays that way, but like
So,
it'd be nice to. Seems like all the bigger ones have the opposite analytics, so I don't know if I'm doing something wrong by
well, I'll say, well, I mean, if it hits the algorithm and one pops off and you get a lot of new people,
right.
then you'll see that permission or the not permission, those percentages change
Right.
to the more unsubscribed. So,
Okay, we talked. I can check my notes here. I have Trovo and TikTok on my notes for no reason. we don't. I don't. I don't really push. I do talk about expanding, and we're gonna kind of get away from Restream now. We're gonna talk about streaming in general and our different approaches and all that kind of stuff.
okay.
I think. I'll just start because I have the note down there. I think TikTok is extremely powerful if you can actually get to the point where you go live on it, because I know a lot of people are doing really good when they go live on TikTok. I don't think TikToks bring any audience off their platform. And I also have a horrible
Yep.
feeling that a lot of viewers that you see on TikTok are either fake accounts or people that are not actually watching your content, because I came across a streamer on TikTok streaming to 400 some people, no chat, no reaction, nothing going on, and then that number would like spike and drop and be all over the place. It'd be 400, be 5, 300, 2. Nothing
Right.
makes sense on TikTok right now. And I
No, it doesn't really, but I mean, they recommend to do it. I mean, they being, the Devin Nashes of the world who say you need to be taking advantage
oh,
of
I love
TikTok. And
I love Devin Nash.
oh, Devin Nash is awesome. Yeah.
Marketing
Yeah,
whiz.
his content, I have to say, I learned a lot of stuff, especially in the beginning times of just things. It's the main reason I'm actually not affiliated on Twitch was his, you know, were his recommendations, because as someone new starting out, don't look for affiliate, do the restream stuff.
The
Sorry,
Twitch
didn't mean to go
No,
right
no,
back to that.
that's fine. That's fine. The Twitch ads are atrocious. They really are.
Yeah,
If you're looking for a streamer, or even when I do what we call backdoor rating when we jump platforms,
right.
when we go on to Twitch, it's always I see the number kind of pile in, and then you see half of them leave because they get greeted with a 32-minute whatever the hell ad,
Yeah.
and it's crushing. It's crushing to see that. And
Yes.
I've got friends that stream on Twitch, and I'll click on their video and I'll get a 30-second ad. I can deal with it. It's not going to bother me. But if I'm just popping
Right.
to say hi really quick and I get a 30-second ad, and then I see their video for like a minute, and then I get another 2-minute ad, I'm gone.
Right.
Even if I like you, I'm just not sitting
Yeah.
there because the
Yep.
platform pisses me off so much. But I think
Yep.
that's a good suggestion to not be affiliated on Twitch. I personally
Yep.
am, but I'm solely streaming on there from time to time. So maybe if I
Right.
start restreaming, obviously you can't because of the if you're affiliated
You
on Twitch, you cannot restream to Facebook or YouTube. You can restream to Instagram Live, TikTok, but that's because Twitch is not concerned about them losing viewership to those platforms for the reason we were starting to talk about. TikTok's
right.
viewers don't leave the platform. It's a bunch of
Right.
people sitting in their underwear or taking a shit, just scrolling through video after video. They don't
Yeah.
care.
Pretty much, pretty much. And you can't use Restream for TikTok because mainly the format, the way it's different. They don't have any setup for TikTok
Oh,
for
Restream
Restream.
doesn't work for that?
Does not go to TikTok. No,
I always see that though. I always see streamers on multiple platforms with TikTok. Is that
they
StreamYard or
can do it. You can. There's ways to trick it. You can use your phone as a camera and stream,
that
but
makes
you
sense?
aren't
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
necessarily. Now I know they are rolling something out where you can stream through OBS, and if you can do multiple streams through OBS, then you could do it technically through there, where you can do the two.
Yeah, well, what is preventing OBS from opening up that doorway? Like OBS Studio or
I I think mainly the Facebook issue, because Facebook blocks you. I think you have to have some special thing
Okay.
with Restream. I'm not sure. I actually am not an expert on that reasoning. I don't know why OBS, or why, let's say, Streamlabs doesn't have something. No, Streamlabs does
they have that.
have Restream, but the main issue with them is they don't consolidate the chat, and that's a big thing what Restream.io does with the chat.
That's also good to know if you're thinking about this stuff too.
Right. Yes. And also, kind of backtracking a bit, the Restream one thing, if you don't do the paid program, and you don't go affiliate, and you can undo affiliate on Twitch, you can request, get rid of my affiliate contract, and they will clear it, so that you can use Restream, the free one, to just do Twitch and YouTube, and that works fine too. And then use Patreon maybe for your subscribers. Be like, hey, I need, if you want to support me, go to Patreon, stuff like that.
Sure. Rolling back to your gear, I want to really open up the floodgates here. Now, I'm personally looking at, if you guys could see what I'm staring at in front of me, you would laugh. So I do well. I do well for myself. I'm all right.
Well, no, you do awesome. Your streams are great. Seriously.
But if you saw how bare bones,
entertainment.
if you saw how bare bones I am, you'd be impressed. Because like the backlighting here, I can even. Oh, it's not gonna reach. I have like these old cam lights, or the like workshop lights and stuff for lighting up my green screen. I cheaped out on everything, and I don't have what the hell is it called? The button. I can't Stream Deck. I don't have the Stream Deck.
Yes.
I have hotkeys for everything. It's like super, and I'm assuming you have a Stream Deck or a Go. You probably have a Go XLR Pro or
I do.
Yeah. Yes. See, I'm guessing. I don't know this for sure. Your lights are incredible. You have one of the. I'm assuming that's a Shure SM7B microphone, which is industry standard.
Yeah.
This was expensive, but it's atrocious looking. But
no, it's awesome.
Let's talk about your gear a little bit, because I don't have any affiliate links in my description, which is going to kick me in the ass. But anyway, let's start with
affiliate. By the way, affiliate links are good.
Yeah, so. I know I've been slacking in that department. I want to know, how do you get lights behind you that interact with you live, and what kind of programs do you use? But I'm also I want to know how much the cost is, because I'm assuming quite a bit. I'm assuming that's an expensive endeavor, but man, does it look pretty.
Thank you. So yes, I do have, and I also have ring light, Elgato ring light thing right there that I got. I built this all up during the pandemic. It wasn't really meant for streaming per se at first. It was kind of just a room, because we were all home. And, when everyone's home, I was like, hey, this could be a cool little hangout room. Let's put up some, it started out, I wanted to replace a lamp that broke in that corner over there. That's all there was. The walls were blank, everything. And the lamp broke. And I was just like, all right, I need to get a new lamp. And I saw, lamps that I liked, and it was like $300. I'm like, I'm not spending $300. I should have spent $300 for the amount that all this costs.
I can imagine.
But yeah, that I started with a strip light, just strips, just one strip in the corner there. I'm like, oh, I kind of like that. It's kind of cool. And then I found nano leafs. I'm like, oh, those will light the place up. That's cool. That's more than $300 for the amount I want. Actually, for what I got originally, that was $150, I want to say, for my starter, what I did there in the corner. And then I got addicted to it, and I was just like, I need to have more.
It's like tattoos. That's why I haven't never gotten a tattoo, because it just wouldn't stop.
There you go. So, and everything I got when it was on sale. That doesn't mean it was cheap, but it was on sale. Some of them I've 3D printed. You can't quite tell, but the ones there's these hexagons that are blue and yellow here. The ones around it, and I'm trying to point. I can't point. Those are 3D printed with light strips inside of them. So I have a 3D printer also, yes.
Oh, okay, so
Um,
another expensive tool, but
it's
man,
another
I
expensive tool and a hobby of mine that I need to do more because the expense of I got one of the cheaper 3D printers,
that works out so
it
well
does
though,
the job.
because for the streaming stuff, I saw a streamer that would go live and start his 3D printer, and whatever thing he created by the end of the stream, he'd give it away at the end of his stream. I thought that was
That's
genius.
cool.
So you just a
Oh, that's
little
awesome.
figurine or whatever the hell it
That's a good
was.
idea.
Yeah, there you
That's
go. Just
actually
put that one in the
excellent
bank.
idea.
Uh,
If I do that, I will absolutely give you credit for that. That's an awesome idea.
well, I
Um,
just saw somebody else do it, so I can't take credit. My buddy Hunter made me
well,
a Majora's Mask out of a 3D printer, and I got that hanging in. It doesn't look
oh,
like
that's
this is all
cool.
green screen now, but like at one
Right,
point in time, I used to have a background with some stuff that I
right.
thought was cool, but I could never get to look as pretty as yours because I always had, between my basement, I got to do a full remodel down here too. So it's like, I just went
Uh,
green screen. I was just like, keep it green screen. It'll be easy enough to deal with.
right. Your background's awesome. I liked because it's just a collection of cool things. I really like your background. With or without the green screen. Just the personality of all the items you had in the back there, really awesome.
Yeah,
So,
this is not my office. I suppose you can't see that. You just see a green screen, but I got the YouTube
right,
office behind me. I don't live in a high rise.
right.
Um, okay, so what is the program that like controls, or what app or whatever you have to implement into your stream to make the commands work? Because if you go to Shocktor, which you should, and his link is going to be in the description, you can go in there and type exclamation point blue, and everything will turn blue, or
Okay.
autumn or fall, and you have all the different colors there.
Yep.
What is that program called?
It is called Lumia Stream. It's yeah that it works with I have more than just Nanoleaf. It's Govee lights and Lifix. Though I recommend nowadays, I don't recommend Lifix as much. I recommend Govee and Nanoleaf. Govee's awesome, and so is Nanoleaf. So if you have a combo of those two, Lumia works. Lumia Stream works with both of those, and I do have it in conjunction with Amazon Alexa as far as doing some other special things. But on the base of just having, if you have light strips behind you, just even, a much smaller setup than me, you can do it with light strips running up and down and just have Lumia Stream change those colors. It doesn't have to be anything fancy like this, it can be anything, and you can have the lights change with people. Lumia Stream, because I use the API on it, it does have a little bit of a monthly cost, but if you do just the free one, it'll work with with whatever you have. It's good. And it does also work with Twitch points. For those of you who have Twitch, an affiliate, you can have Twitch points for people changing your lights. In fact, that's where I learned it from, was a streamer on Twitch who had those lights and you could change the colors, and I was like, "Oh, I have lights in my background. I would really like to do
Yeah,
that." So I asked him, and how that's how I got this to work using Lumia Stream.
the
So,
the
but
co-
I do tie it in with a few others. I use If This Then That. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but that's how I kind of tie them all together. So it's just one place that Lumia Stream has to talk to
okay,
change
okay.
all of them. But you can do it on a device by device basis. It's just that I went a little too crazy. I even have ones on this wall here that you can't see on camera, which is why I have a second camera, an older webcam that points to those. And on my stream, I have two windows. So, but it changes all the lights.
I gotta ask, what kind of camera do you use? I'm assuming it's a DSLR, maybe a
It is.
Sony, or what is the?
So, so photography has been my passion since I was a kid. And so this is my camera. It's a Nikon
Okay,
Z6. And so I use my camera as my webcam. The thing I had to do, you have to get a dummy battery so that it's
yep.
powered on all the time, or you're going to run out of battery power. And I use the Elgato Cam Link to get the stuff from the DSLR.
Okay, that is. I was gonna say that camera and that style is a very like. This is a Discord call, and you look excellent. And usually,
Thank you.
like with webcams and stuff, I can't get them to look halfway decent. So even with this, it looks pristine and way better than how I look right now. I use a GoPro, but that's because I was leaning on the green
Okay.
screen. I felt like if I invested in a DSLR, it might be overkill for green screen work for the most part. And plus, I like the
Yeah.
idea of like taking it on the go if I want to do some type of filming for other kinds of content. But
Right.
yeah, like I said, your stream looks immaculate. And do you
Okay. Thank
and I think it was
you.
pretty much like that from the get go. Honestly, I don't remember a
Yes.
time rolling in on your stream and be like, oh, you know,
Yeah.
good
It was.
microphone, good video.
It was another one of those purchases during the pandemic where I was home, working from home, and I was like, taking photos is something I love, and I hadn't gotten a new camera in many, many, many years, and so I was like, I'm going to get a new camera, and then I learned you can hook it up to the camera as a webcam. So I just wanted to look impressive for my work calls.
There you
So
go. There you
I
go.
hooked it up through that. I got a cam link and started doing that through work. And part of my history is I did start streaming 2015. I was streaming a game called Trove. Probably never heard of it. And I would do that off and on, not a whole lot. Never had a setup like this. It was just my webcam. I'm not even sure what I used for a microphone. I might have even used the one on the webcam. So I've always had an interest in streaming, but once I had this camera working, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should try streaming again. And
Did
that's
you
the kind of that.
did you say 2015?
Yeah,
Oh man, if you would have started then.
I know. I
I'm s-
regret so much. There's so much regret,
oh,
because I actually I had viewers, some regulars. I was slowly building, and then I just stopped.
oh my
In
God.
2015, that's like that was the time to start and grow. And yeah, there are many regrets, but also it was a different time. My kids were younger. It was a little more difficult then to do what I do now. Nowadays, my kids are all older, and it's much easier to just kind of sit down and do this for a few hours.
Yeah, I think it's the way I found streaming is just so random. It was just, oh, can't do band stuff. And then my drummer was streaming for years on Twitch. He's like, oh, you should start streaming and you should stream on Twitch. And I was like, I don't know what Twitch is. So I'm going to stream on Facebook. And that's just how I started. But
Yep.
I hear about the old gunners that started in like 2015 and stuff, and like some of the biggest streamers in the industry are the ones that started in that right before the big boom before the pandemic. If you had like 200-300 viewers before that, you're sitting at 5,000 now because just of
Right.
the explosion. And then
Yep. Yep.
because of the pages, when a bunch of new streamers come into, especially on Twitch, I'm more or less talking Twitch because that's where you're going to get that page placement where people find you. Otherwise, there's really no growth on Twitch. But when all the new streamers are coming on the platform, everyone was seeing the people that were in the hundreds, and then it was just flooding. The floodgates opened up. And even on Facebook, when Facebook Gaming started, there's a lot of streamers that started when it started, got huge numbers, and now they're on the downswing of things, and a lot of them are upset about it. But I think that's the ebbs
Yeah.
and flows of streaming. Like at any given point, at
Yes.
one point, even for my own story, I was up to, there was a month there where I was averaging like 150 to 200 viewers, and
Yep.
now I'm down to around 100 or so. So it's just
Yeah.
like you see those dips, and like you can either get pissed about it and quit, or you can just be patient because you never know if this is like another 2015 situation where
Right.
5 years from now,
Exactly.
who knows what? Because a lot of people don't know about streaming yet. There's still a huge marketplace for it. There's a lot of viewers that don't watch
Yep.
streamers, and there's people that are hesitant of it. It's a new concept. It's still very fresh, even though it doesn't
Right.
feel it to the people that've been here for years. I talk to my neighbor all the time. I don't get why people watch that. It's like, well, why do you watch football? And
Right.
why do people support streamers? Well, why do you support your team? You'll go watch them live, right? You go to their
Right.
games, you buy the tickets, you'll buy the merch. Like
Yep. Yep.
same kind of concept around about.
Yep. It's entertainment. If people find value in it, that is, they'll do it. They'll watch you. They'll buy the merch. They'll do the stuff. It's the same exact concept.
What was
So,
what was your biggest blunder in streaming? What was like whether it was a purchase or something that you spent a lot of money on that you instantly couldn't use or just backfired? Do you have that kind of story? Because I think almost every streamer has something like that.
well, one, I think I overbought on lights, but
Nah, they
well,
look
that's
good.
not
You could,
um,
if you wanted to budget that out, what I would suggest to anybody is you could go with half of that, and if you can angle a mirror,
oh, right.
you could double the effect. Just that's
Yep.
where my brain. I'm a cheap ass, so that's
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I would say even light strips, again, if you just offer the interactivity for people, they'll love that. People, and don't put it behind any kind of paywall or anything. People love to just come into my stream and just, like, if I get raids, there's some people who will do exclamation point police.
yep.
And if you do that, it'll blink red and blue in here with a little, like, those white flashes and stuff.
Hmm.
It does that. So people love doing it. So no, don't put that behind like a paywall, like the Twitch points, for new people to join and be able to do it is valuable. Um, but as far as blunders and purchases, bad purchases, um, trying to think. I think, well, the microphone and the Go XLR I got as, birthday money in January. I just wanted to do that. So maybe buying up on a mic before I got this stuff was, so again, you don't know if you're going to ever be able to buy up. So I had gotten the Elgato Wave 3, which I gave to my youngest child for their streaming stuff. So I don't know if that's
That's still
necessarily a blunder.
that's an excellent mic though. You can't deny that.
Oh,
It's a good
the
microphone.
Elgato Wave 3, fantastic mic. In fact, in some ways, for me to get this one configured to sound closer to that one, it did take me a little while with sound settings. And by the way, just to plug you some more, I actually used one of your videos to kind of get how to get audio good, how to get the audio better. I used a Thumb Tacos video on how to configure audio.
That's amazing because I kind of suck at it. It's weird. Like I get things dialed in and then I start tinkering with them because I get bored. And then I end up I shoot myself in the foot all the time because I'll tinker with stuff too much. And then all of a sudden I'll go live. This happened to me like 2 days ago. I went live and I
Right.
sounded super tinny and like my compressor was overworking. So I sounded like real harsh and like just didn't make sense. And everyone's like, "What's up with
Right.
your microphone?" It's like, well, fuck, I'm live now. I can't do anything about it. And here I got videos
Right.
on
Yeah.
YouTube about sounding good on your stream. Audio is number one. I think
Yes.
any streamer I've ever talked to that has an established audience understands that principle. Your audio, because there are
Yep.
streamers that have very rough looking streams camera wise, but they'll
Mhm.
sound all right and they'll work. And there are a few exceptions to the rule where you can have a shitty sounding mic and shitty camera and crappy gameplay and somehow you still work. So
Right.
you don't want to be the exception to the rule if you're starting. That's
Right.
too much of a gamble. You got to take
Yep.
care of your audio for always been a focus of mine. But the Go
Right.
XLR Pro or that whole unit's pretty big, right?
It takes up a fair amount of space on the desk, yes.
So when you do the
And
EQ settings and everything and all your filters, is that through the Go XLR or do you use
like a voice changer, what is the main thing I really wanted, just for entertainment's sake, just for the sake of having just something different to, instead of my voice, just have some kind of voice changer. That was the main appeal, and also with sound effects and stuff. And I know you can use it with hotkeys like you do. That is definitely the more efficient way of doing it instead of getting a Go XLR. But it does do the levels. Like, there are points when I'm playing Minecraft and some of my viewers will start like opening and closing doors really fast right next to me. And the sound of that will overpower the music and my voice. So I can just go here and just turn the volume down on only the game, just right here on the Go XLR. And that's really valuable to have. Um, but I just remember one blunder, I guess, that I did was because I run Minecraft servers and I overpaid for some extra servers and stuff. And
okay?
those servers ended up being kind of bad. So I really thought it was a 3-year plan and I thought they were going to be good. But it turned out that they were mainly meant for WordPress, not running game servers. So I've been kind of reeling from that a little bit. So if anyone watching this is ever going to do like Minecraft and want to run your own servers, make sure you test it before you do a big 3-year plan, so you don't know what you're going to run into.
What
So
what would be your suggestion for any beginning streamers out there, and if anybody watching right now has made it to this point in the video, hashtag long game or something to let us know, because this, like, to get an hour
Yeah.
view out of anybody on YouTube is pretty impossible. So that
Yes.
would be
Yeah.
cool. But yeah,
Yep.
what would be a suggestion you would give somebody that's thinking about streaming and where to start and all that kind of stuff? Like, what is like some advice you would give that maybe I wouldn't know about, or something unique to you and your experience?
Um, Honestly, consistency, same time of day is incredibly important. I've experimented with streaming at different times of day, and a lot of your normal viewers aren't there, and you kind of need that core of people to have those views to be kind of bumped up a list for other people to find you. And it even helps on YouTube. It helps the algorithm when it knows that people are watching you to kind of push your content out, test pushing it out to a few more people. So keeping a consistent schedule and plan ahead, that you're going to do this in the long run. Like when I started at 12:30 a.m. That was my start time, because then I was sure that I had the available time, that because my kids are a little older and they would be in and out, because this room was kind of a common area. And so I knew that was going to be good. And I've moved it down to 11:30 p.m. And that's still worked out. I might be able to do earlier now because I installed a door. So that that was quite an experience. Total side there. That putting in a door, by the way, anyone who's never planning on putting in a door, have a professional do it. But
Oh, it's so expensive though.
that's true. It is super expensive. I just used the door frame and I chiseled the things to put in the hinges and stuff. And man, I suck at it. I was so bad. I got it. It works. Terrible. Sorry. That's a total aside
Well,
to
you never know
everything
if you
streaming.
never know when a streamer needs to make a door. So
That's true. You may, if you want privacy and you want to put in a door, number one thing is make sure the door frame's square, which I didn't. So, yeah, that was so cutting it and making sure everything is right was an experience and a half. Got some good experience, and it works.
I think that can translate to a streaming, like the consistency, but also like you're gonna have to be able to be brave enough to get your hands dirty in this, because you're gonna
Right.
have to learn a lot of tech and stuff like that. And
Yes.
even myself, I'm still like everything that we talked about tonight. Like, I don't restream, I don't use lights that interact, but I want to learn how to do that stuff. I'm always looking to
Right.
learn and improve on things. If you want to be a streamer that's going to last at least a while and have a good shot at a bit of a side hustle, or at least something you can feel proud of, you're going to have to invest way more than just clicking a button and playing a game. It's
Yes.
learning how to edit video, learning how to
Mhm.
do lighting and everything else. I suck at it, but this is way better than how I used to look. I used to look a lot shittier. It's all micro improvements as you go along, and you keep making improvements as you go. And
You short yourself too much. You are awesome at it.
I'm
Everything.
I'm not. I feel like a what do you call that, enigma or something? Sometimes I look at my stream and it looks like shit, and I'm just like, how the hell is this working? But
No,
but that's
it's
the thing
awesome.
that I opened with. I feel like I'm very, if I'm anything, when I'm good live, I'm very loud and like kind of energetic, and I try to like
Yes,
that
energy is always. Yep.
that's my strong suit for the most part. And then like I go into like just ludicrous conversations about whatever. I mean, one time we spent at least a half hour to an hour talking about how to cook and prep Baby Yoda, and that was like the full focus of the stream. And everybody was just like, jerky Yoda, and it was like when Baby Yoda was hot, and that was like early on, but I still remember
Those
that.
are the best streams.
Right, when you can just get loose and kind of crazy.
Yep. And that's where, again, the game is just the ambiance, but it becomes about you being the entertainer and bringing the conversation and keeping that going. Kind of, that's a big part of streaming. It's why the people come watch you every night, because of you. It's your personality and everything like that. So, yeah, at times I wish I was more energetic and
I
stuff.
never felt I
Just
never
part.
felt like you needed it though. I've always been engaged with your stream. That's why I was looking forward to this conversation, because it's just
Thank you.
so, there's like a certain amount of wisdom and fun with your stream that just is like chill. I'm not a Minecraft player. I don't watch too much Minecraft. My son likes it, but it
Right.
doesn't matter. I can roll in, and you always have good conversations. You do keep up with your chat and you focus on them. I think that's a huge part of it too, like consistency and learning stuff. But you at least have that respect that your chat and community matter way beyond, trying to put a block in a certain spot or dig a hole or whatever you Minecraft people do.
Right. Yeah. You get. I'll walk in circles sometimes while just talking to chat, and forget that. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be building this building or something like that.
Or you'll get yelled at by
a whole bunch, which is also fun.
Or you get yelled at by Facebook because you spent too much time talking to your audience, which is
right. Which happened. That was one of my main early strikes. Is when I talked to chat. It was actually, I think you rated me, and so I was talking to your chat, and we talked for almost 10 minutes. And
shame on you.
I know, right? Yeah. Facebook said you didn't put gameplay on for 10 minutes. And it was just me because I had left the chat and me on the screen with no gameplay. And they were just like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, if you look at the Minecraft list, if you go on Facebook and you look at the top Minecraft things, those are not streams. Those are not streams. I welcome anyone watching this to go check out what's there. So it is... It's just reruns of TV shows. I think YouTube might have more or less the same thing, but at least some streamers are bubbled up a bit. So,
well, this has been an enlightening and awesome conversation. I do appreciate your time. Yeah. I like to keep these right around an hour, so we're about at that pocket here. But like I said, make sure you guys check out Shocktor. He streams on all the platforms.
Yeah.
And what is your time?
I stream at 11:30 p.m. Eastern up until sometimes I'll go as late as 3 a.m. Eastern time. And sometimes I'll switch games halfway through. So I have my main channel on YouTube, but because of the algorithm, I'll actually switch to a non-monetized. I'm probably stupid for doing it, but a more focused on whatever game I'm doing. Channel, but I'll still stay on the Twitch and the Facebook, the same channels there. It's kind of odd how it works with YouTube also. If you're going to do multiple games and you want to grow, just make sure the games you are doing are in that same niche. Because Minecraft doesn't go with a whole lot of stuff, I've found, in my interest level. So like if I want to do a game like Stardew Valley, that doesn't really work on a Minecraft channel. So that's why. So sometimes I'll split up my stream, but Sorry, long answer to
I'm not gonna stop
short question is I start at 11:30 and usually go 2 to 3 hours.
And that's are you Monday through Friday or is that?
It's 5 days a week. I don't do Saturday nights or Wednesday nights.
Okay.
So and Sundays are optional because sometimes I'm just tired from the day, and also I try to do long form content on the weekends. So I don't want to just jump into streaming because sometimes my brain is totally fried from editing.
That's a real thing. Well, I thank you so much for your time. I know you work your ass off.
Yeah, thank you.
I wish you well and all that good stuff. Guys, go give him a follow. If you haven't, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. I love doing these videos, these interviews and stuff like that. I'm terrible at them, but I'm trying to get better at it.
This was a lot of fun. This is awesome.
But thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. All right.
My shell crunch brings all the joy to the yard. I'm like, it's making me hard. Damn right, it's making you hard. You can eat me, but half